The Helmsley Dogman and missing people. Hello again, listeners. If you are a regular listener and follow us on Twitter, you will be aware that we go up to the North Yorkshire area on a relatively frequent basis whilst out in our camper van conversion. We like to go to areas where strange things have happened, in the off chance that we will be lucky enough to witness something for ourselves. This last outing was no exception. Something has turned up on our radar and has opened another aspect to Helmsley and North Yorkshire and its strange occurrences. We did venture onto the North Yorkshire moors, namely the Filing Dales Moor, for an overnight sky watch, but we always seem to gravitate back to the Helmsley area. Some of you will be fully aware about the Helmsley Dogman sighting, back in 2012. If you recall, it was about a bloke who was up to the north of Helmsley one cold winter night, doing a bit of off-season camping in his motorhome. Whilst he was there, he decided to light a small campfire. After a while he began hearing a howl, which seemed to move from the back of him to the side of him. He then mentions that he got a bit scared and ran back to his van, after seeing a hairy bipedal creature with red glowing eyes at the back of his motorhome. He darted back into his motorhome and basically hid, because he was too scared to look out of the window. I can't say as I blame him. It is one thing hearing a story like this, to actually seeing it for yourself. The abject terror must be overwhelming, and the guy goes on to say that he was too scared to get into the driving seat and leave. At one point he said that he thought that it sounded like it was underneath his van. Anyway, you get the general gist of the story. So this is the reason why we seem to keep going back to that area. I know the exact area where he parked up, but there is something about staying overnight there that I can't seem to do at this time. We have been parked up there, in the dark, sat listening. It has always been very quiet, except for the odd vehicle. There is only a farm and small holding quite far apart, in that general area. The landscape goes from clumps of forest to rolling hills, grazing land to moorland. We have been in the Dogman car park several times now, in the pitch black, for hours. But I just can't stay overnight. I would be on hyper alert all night long, listening for sounds, I just know it. It's a very different kettle of fish when you know what's gone on there, and here you are, basically on your own. No one for a mile in either direction, at best, so we end up going into Helmsley, where there is a free overnight parking area for camper vans and motorhomes, so we go there sometimes. I have tried to stay at the Dogman car park, but I get a creeping feeling of an imminent panic attack coming on and have to leave. There is just something about that area that does not sit well with me at all. I have done many paranormal investigations that involved staying overnight, but the feeling I get here is palpable. We have managed to stay overnight, about a mile away, in another forested area which lays directly to the west of the location of the Dogman car park sighting. These two forest areas sandwich an area of moorland, and there is a footpath that takes you directly from what I call the Dogman car park, over some moorland and then into the other forest area about a mile or two away, so the two places are seamlessly linked by a footpath that goes from one area to the other, if you can picture that in your mind's eye. Our last visit was to the forest area to the west, for the record, was June the 9th and 10th 2019. We were about 2 miles-ish from the Dogman incident of 2012, and we were outside of our camper van and having a mooch about in the general vicinity. Down a forest track we approached a 5-bar gate. On the gate post was a poster appealing for a sighting of a missing person, a male, middle-aged, and a very fit man by all accounts. It said that he was a fell runner. Last seen earlier on this year, 2019. His car was found in the Dogman car park of all places. You can imagine our faces when we read that. We just stood there and looked at each other. A thought occurred to me. How many more people had gone missing in this area? Well, during our previous visit to Helmsley, we popped into the local bakery to pick up 1 or 2 provisions, and as we left, there was a poster on the door of another man, missing. At that time, the penny didn't drop and we thought no more about it, until now. So without further ado, I got straight onto the net and found that in 2015 an older lady walking her dog had gone missing in the very area of moorland that is in between the 2 areas of forest, near to the Dogman car park. I must stress that I am not saying that the missing people are in any way connected to the sighting of the Dogman cryptid. I am pointing out that they are in the same area, and for that reason, I find that interesting. I will keep digging around to see what else I can turn up. Anyway, that is all I have for now. If I find out any more, I will update this story. Thanks for listening. Keep your eyes open for anything strange going on in your area. This could be happening, where you are.